What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fight Pit segment here on House Call Sports. My name is Sam, that is Justin, and that is Ollie. And today we're going to be discussing the rise of Jey USO and how it comes with a lot of haters, the underutilization of LA Knight, some Liv Morgan stuff with Dominic Mysterio, and discussing NXT call-ups so far. We have a jam-packed show for you today, so please hit that like, subscribe. We got more content coming on the way. First, though, a real quick word from Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats is the most trustworthy and easy to navigate ticketing website. They have reliable and rewarding tickets and a 100% buyer's guarantee, which means your transaction will be safe and secure. You will get full service customer care and be compensated for any canceled events. And it's got the only ticket rewards program around. WWE events are hotter than ever. Live events hotter than ever. Get your tickets at Vivid Seats. Use the link in the description and go sit vividly. Gentlemen, Yeet, Jey Uso, the hottest act right now on Monday Night Raw. And I think it's fair to discuss how in person he's so over and online he's so divisive, often how things go. So I'm going to put out the simple question, and I'm going to go to you first, Ollie. Is Jey Uso overrated?
No, I don't think so. But I do think that, I don't know, because when the Usos initially split up, I was under the impression, as I'm sure a lot of people were, that Jimmy was actually going to go on to have more of a successful singles career than Jey was. But it doesn't feel like it's been underwhelming at all. And to be fair, as much as I would have liked to see Ilya versus Gunther, that needs more build, and I'm perfectly fine with Jey going through. And I feel like if you're trying to now build Jey as a successful, potentially main event superstar in the WWE, this is the right way to go about it. I don't think he's going to win the King of the Ring, because I think that is Gunther's, and Gunther's going to win and knock Jey out in the semi-finals. But I don't think it's been underwhelming at all. He definitely has the star power, and you can definitely see it. Look at the crowd's reaction to whenever his music hits. Look at in Lyon at Backlash. Look how mad they got for Jey Uso. So I don't think he's overrated at all. I do think though that they're starting to hit the point where they need to sort of cash in on him, and because I don't think he's ever been more over than he is right now. And this is sort of like, I think it's sort of like an LA Knight rise we're seeing with Jey Uso, except that he's starting from a lot higher than where LA Knight was. So I'm very looking forward to seeing where Jey Uso can go and how they're going to book him.
Yeah, I don't think WWE even realized how over Jey Uso really was. Like, he was already over, but this popular, like, outside WWE in merch sales, like, it's, excuse me, it's actually ridiculous how over, sorry guys, sorry Rob, we can cut that, there was something going on over here. How over Jey Uso really is, and it's pretty remarkable. Now, my only thing is that I see a lot of people complaining about how Jey Uso has a very limited moveset, and I gotta say, I would tend to agree on that. However, I don't think that movesets make a wrestler, or a professional wrestler at that. It's really the character and how their character is portrayed. The reason why people loved Hulk Hogan is because of his character and how he was portrayed. If you wanted graps, you went there for Randy Savage. The reason why everybody liked John Cena, well, it was because of his personality and how he was portrayed. If you wanted graps, Undertaker was right there. The same thing can be said about some of the stars of today. Jey Uso, LA Knight, not exactly technically gifted in the ring. However, their personalities are very, very electrifying. Kudos to The Rock. I think we shouldn't criticize Jey Uso for getting over with the audience on his own. Well, granted, the bloodline did help him a bit on the way, but he got over, his character got over, and we should not necessarily just castrate him for it. We shouldn't necessarily just completely undermine him just because he has a limited moveset. Yes, it is limited. But as far as I'm concerned, more often than not, he has relatively good matches. And he has good matches against the people you really need to have good matches against. Gunther, good match. Seth Rollins, good match. Ilya Dragunov, good match. Is he talented in the ring as any of the guys I just mentioned? Not really, no. But damn it, if he can go in the ring as so much so that he can get over with the audience enough, and if he can go to put on a good to great match every single time with those guys, then maybe he's not that bad in the ring. Because if you're bad in the ring, people will know. People will know from seeing you. Jey Uso's far from bad. He's far from great. But I think he's in that sweet spot where 1000% you should definitely want to be on his side. You should definitely want him to succeed. So this notion that he is, to a lot of people, overrated, and a lot of people say, oh, when the bell rings, that's when Jey Uso's hype loses. Well, actually, that's not very true, because a part of why Jey Uso is over is his theatrics in the ring. So I gotta say, I don't think Jey Uso's overrated. As a matter of fact, I think Jey Uso is exactly where he should be, at the top of Monday Night Raw. He was the number one overall pick for a reason. Jey Uso deserves his success, and I think that, saying that he really shouldn't have the popularity he has, it's just a bunch of nerds on IWC that are very, very jealous. Go ahead, Justin.
So here's the thing, and I'm going to just touch first on the whole limited moveset thing. Everybody in WWE has a very limited moveset, if we're just going to keep it a buck. Randy Orton has been using the same moveset for the better part of 10 years. John Cena used the same moveset his entire prime of his career. The moveset does not make a person. The character, as you said, Sammy, does. The only time a limited moveset, will ever cause a problem is if you're constantly botching it during matches, or if you put two competitors with two very similar movesets, a la Jimmy and Jay when they faced off in WrestleMania. Those are the only two times where having a limited moveset can be seen as a major problem. But why is Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso at that, so over? Because he wins over the crowd. We all know this when it comes to WWE superstars. It doesn't matter what the individual thinks. It doesn't matter what IWC thinks. It doesn't matter what the random trolls on Twitter thinks. If you can win over the audience in the arena, backstage will see it. They will push you further. But more importantly, the WWE Universe will love you for it. And Jey Uso, ever since breaking away from the bloodline and establishing his own stardom under the main event Jey Uso brand, has developed into a superstar before our very eyes. Not to mention, Yeet has now probably become one of the most popular catchphrases possibly in WWE history. I said one of, not the. Woo's still number one. We all know this. But that's those things that build a star in WWE. You have the character. You have somebody who's charismatic, somebody who can win over the crowd. He has a catchphrase that glances with everybody, and he puts on great matches. So this whole thing about Jey Uso being overrated is just people who are seeing it more like a John Cena golden shovel type thing, where backstage management, ownership, WWE is just pushing so far and so fast that they're basically, shoving Jey Uso in front of all of our faces. And I get where they're coming from with that. But when it comes to Jey Uso himself, the competitor, the charismatic person, he's not overrated at all. He's perfectly rated. I think they're doing a phenomenal job with how they're trying to build him up further. I think the only thing we're just dying for is for him to have a singles title around his waist. We know he's one of the top tag team champions of all time, but we need him to win a singles title. I don't care if it's mid-card. I don't care if it's main event at this point.
Yeah, and I also think that, catchphrases are part of WWE. At this point, if you have a catchphrase and it goes over, that's a good thing. And what I think is good about Jey Uso rather is that it's not him and a catchphrase. It really isn't. It's his personality that's really, connecting with the WWE universe. And that's important. That is very, very important. Because LA Knight, the reason why he's so popular, yes, his catchphrase is because of it, but damn it, he's entertaining. He is. Like, when he goes on the mic, he's damn entertaining. So I think evidently, we'll get to LA Knight in a second. I think evidently Jey Uso is perfectly rated. He deserves the push he gets. And, the hate, as oftentimes, is just it's not warranted, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't happen, if I'm being honest. It's kind of ridiculous.
Also, he's going to go down in history as having two of the most popular catchphrases, because he has yeet, and of course with the Usos, it was the whole Uso. So he's only the second person with like two really popular catchphrases. Him and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, and Stone Cold is, you said it. He's in a league of his own. So
What?
I knew you were going to bring it up. Yep, I had a feeling. You said, yeet is one of the best catchphrases ever, and immediately I just wanted to go, what?
There you go.
Just to be like,
a catchphrase can literally push you into superstardom. You got what? You got
what?
Bucky.
What?
You got the 316.
What? Yeah, The Rock's got multiple catchphrases too. Catchphrases, like we said, man, catchphrases are part of the WWE realm. What? And speaking of LA Knight, my goodness, what a rise he has had. He's still very over with the audience. However, it seems like ever since WrestleMania, he really hasn't been given a direction. Now, granted, now he's in the King of the Ring tournament. However, I'm fearing for LA Knight, and here's why I'm fearing for LA Knight a bit. It seems like they're really underutilizing him and not putting him in storylines that could get him championships. Because quite frankly, he's so over with the audience still. After a year, he's still very over with the audience, which is unprecedented given today's climate in WWE and in professional wrestling in general. I'm old enough to remember when everybody loved the Acclaim in the AEW. Even me, I love the Acclaim. And then now it's like, what are we doing? Why is Max Caster on my screen, man? Like it's become that kind of professional wrestling sphere. But for LA Knight, he's been over every step of the way. We heard the pop in France. That might have been the loudest pop that anybody in the roster has gotten, which is saying a lot given the stars that are in WWE right now. Guys, I'll give you guys a simple question. I'll go to Justin first. Do you think that LA Knight has been underutilized?
Yes, and he has been severely underutilized. Here's the thing. We all on this show kind of pointed the direction that we thought LA Knight would go. After a very, very, very great year for LA Knight, just being as over as he was, I thought personally, after the triple threat match between Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and KO, that the stage was essentially set for a Logan Paul and LA Knight storyline, leading up to possibly LA Knight taking the United States title. But it seems like WWE is going a completely different direction with Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes in a champion versus champion match, which, if you ask me as somebody who likes diagnosing storylines, makes no sense really in my head. And then that leaves LA Knight just in limbo. Like, he can't go after the tag team titles because he doesn't have a partner. The US title seems to be out of the way. He honestly, in my opinion, is not ready to go after the Undisputed Championship. So it's like, where do we go with LA Knight? He has the personality, he has the charisma, he has the match potential to put on great matches, but I need writing, like backstage. I need all the writers to tell me what is going on, because before you know it, that like pop that he has, if he's not being on TV and he's not being in good storylines, he's gonna die out. And all of a sudden, the rest of us are gonna be like, damn, what if?
Yeah, that's my issue. Like, I don't want this to be a what if with LA Knight, kind of like it was with Mr. Kennedy back then when he was gaining popularity. And the same thing happened.
We got championships.
Exactly. And another thing, another person who was over, Braun Strowman, and he got his title way too late. Elias, he got him as a heel, super entertaining. Did he need the title? Not really, but it would have been entertaining to see him have a championship and a guitar and have concerts and maybe have open challenges with that thing. That's just a personal event on Elias. I don't know. I really like him, man. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. LA Knight, you don't want to lose it. I don't want to look back at LA Knight and think, man, he was so over. Why didn't he win a title? Like, eventually, people are going to get used to LA Knight and the crowd pops are going to get a little bit quieter, right? He's still over now, and I hope he stays over. However, I kid you not, if he continues to lose and lose and lose, then people are going to be like, what the heck are we doing with this cat? Like, why are we even doing this anymore? So, LA Knight to me is main event material. It's not just the fact that he's good. He's damn good. Main event material good. The guy can cut a promo like with the best of them. So why in the world are we waiting? Why in the world is this like a whole? Why in the world are we like doing this whole King of the Ring thing where we know he's probably not going to win? Why are we doing this whole? Why are we keeping him away from Logan Paul? Even though the seeds are planted for a Logan Paul rivalry already, there's so much you could do with LA Knight right now. If you wanted to go for King of the Ring, that's completely fine. But if Tama Tonga beats LA Knight this Friday night on SmackDown, I'm going to lose it because I don't think that should be the case. Go ahead, Ollie.
Yeah, well, you guys kind of did a lot of the talking for me, but I think the WWE have sort of dug themselves into a hole a bit with the LA Knight situation, and I don't actually think that the blame is 100% on them. I think this whole situation is kind of a victim of LA Knight just getting over at the completely wrong time. Because if we look back to when he had his one main event championship opportunity, I believe it was at Crown Jewel last year, and that was at the very peak of this whole bloodline story. So everyone knew there was like, there is no way Roman Reigns is dropping the belt here. But that's what gets me. That is the only championship opportunity he has had so far. And it's the only match of any significance, I would argue, that he's had so far. And I think once the dust had settled, after Money in the Bank, and after we realised that he wasn't winning it, he just seemed a little bit directionless from there. And everybody, I've seen fans who have got better ideas than what they're coming up with him now. Like you boys have said for the Logan Paul, that left me genuinely confused as to why we didn't get that at WrestleMania. Like, I have no idea, because that, and I like to say it would have fed families a lot on here, but that genuinely would have fed families. I believe that, I'm not saying that we should thrust LA Knight into a World Championship picture tomorrow. I'm just saying that the longer they wait, the quicker this hype around him is going to die down, and WWE will realise too late just what they had and that they should have cashed in sooner.
Right, and what I'm you can go right after me. Sorry, Justin, I knew you wanted to chime in on this, but what's worse about this is that like the feud with AJ Styles, I thought was very, very entertaining. Like it was super entertaining. So I'm not necessarily upset at that. I think the transition from the championship feud to the AJ Styles feud was a bit smooth, but now we're past AJ Styles. We're a month after WrestleMania and nothing has really happened. And that's where their underutilization is really starting to bother me. Go ahead, Justin.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because that was actually something I was going to bring up. Here's the thing with SmackDown. There's not a lot of heel characters that you can throw against LA Knight right now to even like transition and put a bridge until like a good storyline for a championship. He's already did the feud with AJ Styles. The only other like top heels in SmackDown right now is the Bloodline. So what are you going to do? You're going to basically have Tama Tonga beat LA Knight, probably through some method of cheating with the Bloodline, and have him do another Bloodline story? it's not going to work. He's already been there, done that. And this is where it gets like frustrating as fans of WWE, because you know you don't want to repeat the same things that you did before, but you have nothing new cooking for somebody who is arguably one of the top people in your brand. So what are we doing here? Like, I need writer's room to like go to the back, hook up something. Michael Cole, I know you like left your position in writing to be full-time in the commentary, but I need you to go back there in that writer's room and figure out something for LA Knight.
Right, and what's worse, I'm looking at the SmackDown roster right now, and I'm look, man, I know that the roster isn't necessarily stacked, but here's the thing. You can feud a quick mini feud with a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura, a guy like Carmelo Hayes, a guy, if the tag team were to split, guys like, well, maybe they've already feuded with Austin Theory, but Carmelo Hayes and Shinsuke Nakamura are right there. If you don't want to throw him in with Logan Paul yet, my entire thing is that I think why it's kind of a bit directionless right now is because, okay, we have the King of the Ring tournament right now. We're going to do this whole thing with LA Knight. But how many months till SummerSlam? Like 2 months? Are we going to wait till then for LA Knight to get his moment? I don't know about you. I think he's going to remain over. However, I'm sorry. I just feel like it's like we're waiting way too long for something that should have happened, honestly, at WrestleMania. Like, I'm just not really. You said it, Justin. The SmackDown roster is not, thick enough for me to really just for LA Knight to be just roaming everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see, man. I hope LA Knight pulls it through. I hope he finds a way to remain over. I think Santos Escobar is another heel that you could find some like very entertaining stuff from, but quite frankly, the underutilization of LA Knight is getting a bit frustrating, and it's about damn time that he finally got his championship and got something, a reward for being over for this entire year. Now, I'm not going to go as far to say Dominic Mysterio is over. However, he's certainly over for two women. Liv Morgan and Dom have been, suspiciously connected lately. The other night on Raw, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, Dominic Mysterio was caught leaving the room. Or Liv Morgan, I believe, left first. And not too far behind was Dominic Mysterio. I don't know what kind of conversations they might have had. However, I would imagine they were a bit entertaining, to say the least. Now, then we see Dominic Mysterio like Liv Morgan's post. Now, they could be good friends. They could be just, chatting it up. They could have just coincidentally been in the same room at the same time. However, here in the WWE universe, we don't like to look at things as coincidences. No, we like to we like conspiracy theories. So, with that being said, Ollie, where is this going to lead? Where does Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, where do they kind of connect here?
Well, WWE love being cryptic with this stuff, don't they? And it genuinely wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, okay, Dom and Liv may just be really good friends outside of wrestling. But it wouldn't surprise me if that was like a plan, or if that was something that Dom was told to do by WWE just to fuel the fire. But Dom, for me, well, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment, isn't he? And that is literally and figuratively, if you know what I'm saying. Remember, we were talking about this before we clicked record. And look, I'm going to steal your line here, Justin. If Dominic Mysterio truly is Eddie Guerrero's son, take both of them. Don't get yourself caught up in this ongoing war. A battle in your own head. Do I go for Mommy? Do I go for Liv? Just take both. Dom's married to someone, and then Liv's got a partner. Rhea's engaged to Buddy. Just have them both. I know that's greedy, but at the end of the day, he is supposed to lie, cheat, and steal, and could end up stealing Buddy Murphy's fiancée. So that's what I'd do. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a conclusion to this pretty soon, because they've kind of been drip feeding it for a few weeks now, and it feels like something's coming, and not Dominic.
Okay, before we get censored here, hold up. I'm going to retort to this. So, we all watch baseball here. We all
Ollie, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, Ollie.
Here's the thing about this whole situation.
I'll see myself out. Yep, good recording. Next one, boss.
Up until this past week's Raw, everything has been subtle. There was the backstage interview, as you mentioned, where Liv left the room first and then Dominic. There was that one instance where you had Dom and Liv face to face for like a couple of seconds. There was the Instagram post from Liv Morgan that just so happened to have a purple bandana in her pocket, on the left side, And then there's the post with Dom liking it. That's 4 different instances that WWE has done. And then this past episode of Raw, you had Damian Priest, who in storyline and in real life is very good friends with Rhea Ripley, directly asking him, yo, are you and Rhea good? That's pointing like now the seeds have been sown and we are about to see what happens next. Because I can see a multitude of things happening and a multitude of routes that WWE can go with this. Maybe Dom helps Liv win the Women's Championship. Maybe Damian finds out what's going on and confronts Dom. Maybe Rhea comes back and starts fighting Liv and Dom. Maybe we do get a mixed tag team match with Rhea and Damian versus Liv and Dom. There's a multitude of things that can happen from this. All I know is I cannot wait for Rhea to come back so we can see the full extent of this. And just like my name says now that I changed it, Dom, we need to know who's your mommy.
A Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley love triangle was not on my bingo card in 2024. However, we have. Oh, I bet it was. Look, I'm just saying, man. Cinema, man. I don't know how to explain it. I don't care. I don't want to get into the nuances. No. You guys can do that. I just want to see something happen.
Sammy is on his Dolph Ziggler thing right now.
Oh yeah, I love it. It should have been me, bro. Come on. I don't understand. Look. Dominic Mysterio. Let me tell you something, bro. You got some good luck on you. You got some good riz on you, okay? But you got to learn. You got to be careful with this, brother. As a Dominican man, I would know. You got to be careful when you're talking to the ladies, brother. I know he's Hispanic, so he knows how to, get saucy with the ladies. The guy's married, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Quite frankly, I think this is good stuff. On a serious note, I do. I think that Liv Morgan being the reason that the Judgment Day could potentially pull apart is exactly how you get Liv Morgan over as a heel and as a heel counterpart to Rhea Ripley, because Rhea Ripley is not coming back as a heel, ladies and gentlemen. She is coming back as a face. That is not a prediction. That is a spoiler. No way. We're in the middle of a heel turn right now for Liv Morgan. So it's, quite frankly, the writing's on the wall. Liv Morgan 1000% is gonna break up the Judgment Day. I'm predicting it right now. And I think it's going to lead to some great cinematic promos and segments between Liv, Mommy. I just can picture this. I'm picturing this right now. The creative juices are really flowing in my head. Bear with me, guys, for a second.
Well, while I bear with you, I don't mean to piss you off even more. But, that's also Dom's wife. So that man is.
This brother's winning, bro. This brother is winning.
He must be getting so much money, by the way. For him to go after 2 women like this, she must be getting paid.
Hey, listen. Like I said, in all respect, Buddy went after his sister. So all's fair in love and war.
Good. Hey, Long-term storytelling, am I right?
Oh man, after all these years.
All right. Here's my pitch for the WWE. There needs to be a segment with Rhea, Dom, and Liv Morgan. I need Rhea to catch Liv and Dom doing something. I don't care if it's a miscommunication. I don't care if it's a misunderstanding. We need to have something happen. I need Dominic Mysterio to be helping Liv out. I need Liv Morgan to be helping Dominic out with something. I need something like that. A segment where I'm going to
bring back the hotel scenes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all remember that one segment with Enzo Amore and Lana?
I was just about to fucking bring that up. Yes.
That segment right there. But by the way, that feud led to absolutely nothing.
No,
But-
I got something better. Jimmy, Naomi. I forgot who the girl was. The third girl was
Mandy
Second
Rose. Hey, I'm just saying Jimmy is a better man than me, bro. He really is. He is, bro. But I'll digress. I love you, babe. I'm just kidding. I love you, baby. Christina, I love you so much, okay? I'm just joking.
Say that poor man to come out.
Yeah, man. All right, look. We're going to move on here. We're going to go ahead and move on here before things get a bit messy. Look, NXT, the breeding ground of the WWE. It's one of the best things that WWE has ever invested in. Young talent coming up from their developmental brand, having their own little storylines, and it's just good for the brand to develop the breeding ground. We've seen elite talents come from NXT, from the likes of Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. We've seen the likes of Tiffany Stratton more recently, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, who are already getting over with the audience. And now we're seeing guys like Ilya Dragunov and even Lyra Valkyria get over with the audience already. And that just shows the success of NXT. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys this question. Of all the NXT call-ups that have come out this year so far, who are you most excited for and why? I'll start with you, Justin.
All right, mine is going to be easy because this is the one that many people didn't expect to catch fire as quick as they did. And that's Lyra Valkyria. Everybody has known about Braun. Everybody has known about Mello. Everybody has known about Ilya the entire time that they have been in NXT. Lyra Valkyria, for me, as someone who caught on to her right before she won the NXT Women's Championship, I didn't know if fans would gravitate toward her as fast as they did for the previously three mentioned. And they put her, WWE, in the perfect position by putting her in the Queen of the Ring tournament. And she has been able to flourish and to show her skill set in the ring, show that passion that she has. Also, I just found out she's Irish. God damn. I did not know that until now. But that's the thing. She took this opportunity in the Queen of the Ring tournament. She has rolled with it, and the WWE universe has loved her for it. And that's the one that's impressed me the most out of all four of them.
Yeah, that 1000%. I think Lyra Valkyria, the most shocking thing I heard on Monday Night Raw was how over her chant really was already. Her little that's amazing stuff already, and that just shows that these people are watching NXT, which is really, really good. All the people who go to these events should be watching NXT. It's a great show. I'll go ahead and give you my pick. Braun Breaker. I kid you not, the kid has everything. He really does. The mic skills, he has the intensity, a tremendous worker. He already has a little thing with the crowd, that little hoo. That's some great stuff as well. Very, very entertaining as well. I think Braun Breaker, of anybody, has the potential to be the face of the WWE even more than a Mello, more than an Ilya Dragunov. I think he could be a face more than almost 95% of the roster. He has the look, he has the charisma. Braun Breaker is the real deal. He's been the real deal for a long time. But I love, and here's another thing I want to mention about NXT. Even when it looks like they're ready to go up to the next level, I love how they keep them down there in NXT and try new things with them. They like trying, hey, Braun Breaker, we're going to turn you heel. Hey, Braun Breaker, we're going to put you in a tag team. Hey, Braun Breaker, you're going to be the face of the company. Can you do these things? And he checks every single box. And also, the best thing about WWE, before you go, Ollie, is the fact that NXT, quite literally, they don't just shoot people up there and they have no direction. I love what they're doing with Braun Breaker. They're just not throwing him in somewhere. They're not going to throw Carmelo Hayes up there. They're not going to throw in Lyra Valkyria up there without it making sense. And the King of the Ring tournament is how you make things make sense. Now, I don't know why Braun Breaker wasn't in the King of the Ring tournament, but which he should have been. However, the Raw roster is very stacked. So I'm not going to be the one complaining here. Ollie, you can go ahead.
Right. Well, there might be a little bit of bias attached to my pick, but this is a man I have spent the last 7 years of my life with an eye on. A man who was putting on 5-star matches with Walter back in the day at the whole bonus arena, about 5 minutes from my front door. And that man is Ilya Dragunov. Now, it's a man who I said this last time I was on here. I genuinely believe he's in the conversation of, pound for pound, one of the best professional wrestlers on the planet. Now, not just in the WWE, in the world. Granted, he sells every move like it's just ended his life, but that's the thing. That's what does kind of warrant the Dolph Ziggler comparisons. He's one of the best sellers in the company. But I don't know. I do think he has a higher potential than what we saw Ziggler achieve, because he never felt like he felt like he was a main event talent that never quite got the push. He was always sort of around the mid-carder scene. And I think maybe a bit above that is where I can see them going with Ilya Dragunov. Now, it does pain me a little bit to see that they've not gone for the Ilya Gunter semi-final. But it's a very good reason, obviously, because you want it on a massive stage, you know, like a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series or a WrestleMania, and you don't just want it maybe in Bash at Berlin, not just on some 20-minute time slot with 3 ad breaks in the middle of the match. You know, if you're going to let them cook, you need to let them cook. But that's the thing. Many people's dream matches, if you go out and ask any given WWE fan right now what their dream match would be, I can guarantee you at least 3/4 of them would include Ilya Dragunov. Now, if that doesn't say something about the hype around this man and the genuine, just pure talent that he has, he can get a 5-star match out of anyone. Even Meltzer will be quaking in his boots when he sees this motherfucker at a PLE. So, yeah, Ilya Dragunov for me, I think, will be the most exciting one. It was kind of tough between Braun and Ilya, but hey, maybe even a feud with them. I think Ilya can drag a 5-star match out of literally anything.
Okay, wait. Bear with me. Here's an idea. Just came to my head. Think about this. You have Gunther win the King of the Ring tournament.
Okay.
And you have, after that, Clash at the Castle. What if Clash at the Castle is being built to be the King Gunther versus the Mad Dragon in front of a great crowd? Come on, it has.
My thing is that I think it's a great place to do it. I just feel I don't know why I want a title on the line. I feel like a title on the line just makes the match make sense. However, I'm hearing you out. I don't want them to just grab just for grabs. You know what I mean? I want there to be a good reason as well. Now, you could throw anybody in the ring with Ilya Dragunov, and I think Ilya Dragunov is quite literally perfect for the Intercontinental title. I don't think anybody would wear the Intercontinental title better than Ilya Dragunov except for Gunther. I think he can get week after week. We're getting banger after banger. Word to Sheamus, and that's another dream match right there. Ilya Dragunov versus Sheamus. That would burn the house down. Like this is the thing with Ilya Dragunov. You now, my only worry with Ilya is really his character work, but even that is just an intense character is a good character nonetheless. A Russian insane man, like his match with Ricochet, for example, that was cinema. That was cinema. Let's be honest. And his finish was just amazing. The H bomb and then the tongue out. And look, everything about Ilya for me screams high upper mid card superstar. That's what it screams to me. World title, do you picture him as the face of the company? I'm not sure about that. However, I think Ilya Dragunov has a place in WWE 100%. Him being the workhorse in the WWE would do dividends for the company in and of itself.
It definitely does. One other thing I just wanted to point out, and it was something that Sammy mentioned, the fact that NXT has a great tendency now where their competitors, if you think that they're ready to get called up, that they keep you there just to try new things, that is them learning from previous mistakes. Because if you remember, competitors like Malachi Black, who's now in AEW, Sami Zayn, and others from like that crop of NXT talent, when they all first got their jump into the main roster, a lot of them was lost in the weeds. So I think NXT learned from that experience that they had with that last crop. And when they switched over from the black and gold brand to the 2.0 to the current rendition of NXT, they learned like, hey, just because we think that they're ready to move up yet, let's not move them up until we have a set plan for their main roster appearances. Let's keep them down. Let's try some new things. Let's see if they can work in multiple different angles. And then when the time is right, we'll bring them on up. I think it's perfect the way that they were able to course correct, because that was one of my fears with NXT, is that you get so much talent, you put them up on the main roster, and all of a sudden they have no storylines, no place. And all of a sudden we have an LA Knight situation coming from newer talent.
Yeah, let's hope that's not the case for this newer talent. It's just such a great crop of NXT superstars. Also want to give a quick shout out to Tiffany Stratton before we go ahead and close things out. Tiffany Stratton is the most over out of every single one of the superstars you just mentioned. She's already over, and she's 22 years old, 23 years old. She's already good on the mic. She's already good in the ring. She just gives off already Money in the Bank for me. I think she'd be perfect in that role. I think her as a heel champ would be great already. They need a mid-card title for the women's division. I'll just go out and say that. They need to make one, because I feel like there are so many women in this division that just could benefit from being in that little card right there. But with that being said, we thank you guys for joining us here on the Fight Pit here on House Call Sports. Please like and subscribe and share if you like this video. Comment down below what you guys think of Dominic Mysterio hooking it up with the mommies. With that being said, that has been Justin. That is Ollie. I am Sam. Peace out. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next time.